so as painful as it was for me to lose to my brother's team as Forest lost to Spurs 2-0. But the real question now is, are we in a relegation fight? Welcome to the Grumpy Old Reds. Oh, the weekend's nearly ended, boys. We are here. I've just about managed to stay awake after watching Liverpool versus what felt like Forest, man, to be honest with you. But my God, was it a painful match. Hope you guys are doing well. Chat, how are you? Welcome to the live stream. Good to see all you guys in there. Hope you're all doing well. We got a lot to talk about tonight, but my voice is a little gone from shouting at the under-13s today. We won 4-2. Came back from 1-0 down after 2 minutes, boys. And do I admit to this? I changed with 20 minutes to go to a back three.
Back five.
Yeah, well, back three, actually a back three. And it worked. We got a goal. Anyway, who cares about my under-13s team? All right.
You went low.
Huh?
You went low block, yeah?
No, we went high block, mate. It was 3-2. I wanted another goal just to secure the game. I thought, do I go Cooper style and put 11 men behind the ball and pray? Or do I go front foot? Because, Premier League and under-13s league is exactly the same. Good to see you all in the chat. How you doing, Big Mark? Paul, Raphael, Tommy Boy, Rai, Andrew, how are ya? Good to see you. We got evening Sherlock Holmes. They're all coming in here. All the evenings are coming in. Keep your comments coming in. All right, I want to kick this one off, and I want to talk. Let's start with the performance. Right, I gotta admit, I thought it was better. I didn't buy into this whole Wolves performance was better and crap. I mean, the bar was this low against Fulham. It wasn't hard, but actually, I saw a little bit of pressing. I think it's the first time. Yes, it was 20 minutes, boys, but I did see some pressing. Now, Spurs dominated us for the first 20 minutes, definitely, and Son should have scored an absolute sitter. But there was a little bit there that gave me some hope, and then it's just the crosses. We still can't defend crosses, boys. But what was your kind of summary of the game, man? How did you feel coming out of that
one? Nothing really, to be honest. I felt like there was no emotion for me watching that game, not good or bad, because I just felt like I'm waiting for something to happen, and it wasn't going to happen in that game. We did have a good spell of pressing at one point, but it's like it's an afterthought. What I don't understand the game plan going into it. I really don't. Is it just to hold out for as long as we can? And maybe we can nick something but as soon as they score, the game plan's out of the window and nothing changes. So I saw a little bit of change on when did we play? Friday night. I'm glad I didn't go to a game. I'm really glad I didn't go to the game. I didn't want to be part of that. I don't think we learned any more from that game. Honestly, I just think it's just a meh for me. There's nothing that I'm taking out of that game that changes my thought process. That's where I'm getting to. Nothing changes for me. We're still shit. We still got the worst. He's officially now got the worst record of any manager who's played, who's managed over 50 games in the Premier League. He's officially got that record now. And every single stat goes against every fiber of my being thinking that we're going to improve from the situation that we're in now, where Everton have overtaken us, which was just a matter of time. And now it's like, are we going to keep looking behind our backs? Is that how the rest of the season's going? And if that is the case, I just want to make one point, because I heard people have said this, but they'd rather finish 17th with Cooper. Or some have even said they'd rather get relegated with Cooper. I'd rather finish 17th with any other manager than Steve Cooper. I'm just sick of it. I'm bored of it. I think even the ones who were on the fence are kind of fed up with it. People couldn't even be bothered to boo at the end of the game. I'm not saying that there was cause to boo. That's another defeat. That's 1 point out of our last 18. Add on every single other stat you want to, but it's just nowhere near good enough. And how any manager in world football, forget the Premier League. The Premier League is the top of club football in the world. But in any league in any world, in any part of the world, no other manager would survive this record that we're going through at the moment. And I cannot understand what is keeping Mr. Marinakis from pulling the trigger. Pull the trigger, mate. Just do us all a favour. Get it over and done with. That's all I'm saying. And I'll let somebody else carry on because I'll just start ranting now.
Yeah, go on, go on, Ant. What are you thinking about that game? Are you doing with Eds, or are you like desperately seeking some points of improvement like I was looking for? But I can't be objective on this one because it was Spurs. But what was your take on
that? Nothing's changed, has it? I mean, I've seen quite a few people saying that, saw some fight. We had a couple of chances, all that. At the end of the day, we lost 2-0. We were massively outplayed. I mean, if you look at the possession stats and the passing stats and all that, like, it's quite frankly embarrassing. Embarrassing. I don't care if it's Spurs. I don't care who it is. We're at the City ground. It was shocking, and so many people are blinding themselves, saying that they can see this and they can see that. No, we're our standards. So now we're happy to lose 2-0 at home to Spurs, are we? That's good. That's progression, is it? No, sorry, nothing's changed. No, I don't know what else to say, really. In fact, I shouldn't say anything, really. I don't want to say anything naughty.
And I heard fans saying, at least we tried. What the fuck is that? That's like saying at least they turned up. At least they tried. That is a bare minimum. So we had this discussion. I seem to be louder when I'm off camera, but I'll stick to it for now. We had this discussion earlier on in the season about.
As maybe you should ask your Virgin Media engineer to turn up.
It's not the internet. I keep telling you, Prince. It's not the fucking internet. It's the tools that go with it.
It's StreamYard.
Right, okay.
God.
It's StreamYard, yeah. Right, let me carry on. Right, yeah. So we had this discussion earlier on in the season about settling for mediocrity. There's fans out there settling for our players just turning up. What the hell's that about? How low have we sunk in our estimations or our expectations, should I say? But we're settling for players turning up and putting in the performance, or at least they turned up. What the hell are you guys talking about, man? This is shit. This is what's leading. This is what's going to lead to a more embarrassing relegation than we had 23 years ago. Because then we didn't have any money. We had spent no money. We sold our best players. We deserve to get relegated. That excuse can't be thrown this time round. It's down to sticking with a shoddy manager with shoddy tactics and shoddy a backroom team as well. That's getting us no progression whatsoever. And it's the Forest fans, or the ones that are vocal anyway, or the ones that seem to get heard, that are keeping him in a job. When I hate the media. The media, amount of times I watch Sky or whatever, and they're trying to make out that all Forest fans are backing him. We're not all backing him. There's a bigger contingent now that aren't backing Cooper. So I think the owner just needs to pull the plug. He needs to decide one way or another. He can't keep teetering on the brink like this, and that's how it feels. It's game one. Everyone's saying, "Oh, give him Bournemouth." What are we going to say after Bournemouth? Give him Newcastle. What, so where does it end? So I've had enough of it, mate. I've had enough.
Yeah, I think what's going to happen is, let's just say, God, if we lose to Bournemouth, then I think the narrative changes to, well, what's the point of bringing someone new for Newcastle? We're going to get tongued and Man U. We should wait till January. Crypto, I'm going to bring you in just a sec. Massive shout out to the legend. The legend. That is not just Andrew Sharpie, but Sharky himself. Thank you. 16 months, bro. That's crazy. And look at this catfish, man. I swear his profile pictures are better looking than Felipe's, man. Seriously. Thank you so much, Mark Dennis. Keep up the good work in these meh times, lads. Appreciate it. And Jimmy Boy James, thank you so much for the $5. I will give you a bit of a counterpoint to Cooper out as an Evertonian. Oh, the Evertonians are coming in thick and fast now, aren't they? We were crap without Calvert-Lewin, and you've been really bad without Taiwo. We are definitely going to talk about this but God bless Nicky, me and him have been chatting over WhatsApp, and he's adamant that Taiwo is the problem, or should I say the lack of Taiwo is the problem. Thank you so much for your $5, mate. Crypto, I just want to look at some individual performances first, right? And I want to start with your boy Elanga, because I know you're a fan of him, and I'm a fan of him as well. But my God, does he make me pull my ass hair out, man? Like, was he born offside? I don't know. I got a cap on, so I can't pull my actual hair out. So, was he born offside? And chat, is anyone getting frustrated with Elanga? It's like you can see there's a player there, and then he does it. I mean, he's got 3 goals, 3 assists, I think it is. But should he be getting more? He blew my mind on Friday.
Yeah. So first of all, I want to make some opposing opinions because I don't really agree with these two pricks that have just said what they've said. So first of all, we can't sit here and say we want Cooper to play attacking football, and then when they do, we slate him anyway. Because against Spurs, we were playing attacking football. Yeah, we didn't get any points from it, but we were playing a lot more attacking than we were low block. Second point, the 2 goals, the second one was clearly Turner's fault. So if he hadn't have done that, it would have only been 1-0. The first goal was literally pinpoint accuracy onto his head. I mean, Bolly was right there. Bolly would literally have had to be, I can't remember who scored it. Was it, what's his name? And I can't remember his name. Bolly would have literally had to be in his position to stop that ball. Richarlison. Yeah. So Bolly's head would have had to be Richarlison's head to stop that ball because it was so pinpoint accurate.
I don't agree, bro. I don't agree. There's 2 things I dispute with you. Kulusevski is completely left-footed, apart from when he shoots against Turner. Yeah, he's a bit like Anthony, but better. He likes to cut in on that left foot. So when he got out wide, like Toffolo was showing him outside, and he got sold by the thing. It's the old saying, isn't it? Cut out the cross, cut out the goal. And then Murillo left. He tagged Richarlison to Bolly, and Bolly kind of only half-tracked the run. It was a good cross. I'm not taking away from the cross. But I mean, you can make fault with every goal. I'm probably, I don't know, I'm being over the top here, but I don't know.
I disagree. I think Bolly's positioning couldn't have been any better. For me, that cross was literally down to the inch. So I don't think we could have stopped that. In regards to Elanga, it's probably one of his worst matches. Again, he doesn't get his head up, which is really frustrating. He makes some really good runs, but they don't go anywhere. I've got to say that my favorite player on the pitch, who I've kind of said I'm not the biggest fan of before, it was Nico Williams. I thought Nico Williams was absolutely brilliant. Standout player for me. Should probably be put straight into the City team, to be honest.
Sorry, I just read Graves. I don't know, man. These lines that come out in your life, you just never know what's coming. And in terms of just another performance that we got to talk about, and I know you've said before that you don't like either of them. Yeah, the goalkeepers. Like, what are we doing now, man?
Well, I don't think that Turner should ever play for Forest again. I'm sorry. Sorry, Dino. Sorry, any people that rate him. No, he's
Dino, what are you saying now, Dino? How about your boy Turner, Dino?
He's never going to be a Premier League goal. He's never going to be a Premier League goalkeeper as long as Wolverine's got ear in his ass. Honestly, he just ain't good enough. He's just not good enough. We need a new goalkeeper, sadly. I don't think either of them are good enough, but I've seen more of Turner to make me certain that he's not going to make it. Vlad Kadimos, I'm prepared to give him some bit longer because he's not had the same, sort of run. As regarding what Crypto said about that being an attacking display, God help us if that's as attacking. My God, can you find the stats, Wolverine, so we can have a look at our attacking?
15 shots. 15 shots. Okay, only one of them is on target, but we can that's by the by.
Well, let me break it down for you more, boys. So we had 15 shots overall. In the first half, we had 4 shots and 21 possession and 0 on target. In the second half, we had 11 and 1 on target. I'm not sure when that 1 on target came, boys. I don't know. I can't even remember what it was to me. Chat, who had the 1 shot on target?
Elanga kicked it straight at the keeper, or was that
the shots things? By the way, the shot things when it comes to stat, it can be a total illusion. I mean,
It was definitely more attacking.
To be honest, I couldn't care less about how many shots a team has off target.
I found it. Sorry,
Doesn't
Anne.
mean-
I found it, Anne. 84th minute. It was Tuffalo shot.
Oh,
Yeah.
the heck, yeah.
It was when the goalkeeper made the save with his legs,
Yeah,
and he was falling
yeah,
backwards,
yeah.
which was a great save.
That's it. My boy right here knows his stuff. Yeah, so in essence, we had 0 shots on target with 11 men on the pitch, and it still took us 15 minutes. When did he get sent off to get a shot on target against 10 men? That
I
in
mean,
itself.
why do we count? Sorry, I just want to go
back.
back. I want to go back to this shots off target. Why do we even mention shots off target? What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything.
It means
count
you're
for
advancing a little, Ant. It means you're
It
advancing.
doesn't,
a
because
little.
you can have a shot from 30 yards. It's the bloke 2 yards in front of you. That's a shot. You know, it's like.
Maybe you could have a shot on target from 30 yards that just dribbles onto the keeper.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's no good though, is it? You got to get. I agree with that. Yes, shots on target. I agree with that as well. Sometimes it can be. We laugh, don't we? Sometimes that counts as a shot on target. You know, forget shots on target. Forget shots off target. Concentrate on goals and score lines and what kind of possession you had in the game. I know possession is not the be all and end all. I fully accept that. But when you're regularly getting 20 to 30%, chances are you're not going to win a lot of games. That's just like factual. The chances are, you know, you're not going to win lots of goals.
But Dino's right, isn't he? It's like we're gripping onto shots off.
It's grasping. It's grasping. We've got 1 point out of 18. That's the fact of the matter. Not how many shots we've had. I mean, earlier this season, Everton were really struggling, weren't they? And everybody kept saying, yeah, but their XG's amazing. That don't matter if you get relegated. I know they've improved. I'm just making a point that XG, shots on target, you need to watch the game. When I watch a game, I come away with an impression of which team I thought was the better team, which team I thought deserved more than the other one. I don't get my little notes book out and say, well, actually, it had 3 shots on target. You could have 5 shots on target. They could all be in the last 5 minutes and they could all be dribbled at the goalkeeper. Don't mean anything. Watch the game. Watch the game and make your own mind up.
And
that's good for backing up what you already think. Like, I think we played really well. And then you look at the stats. Yeah, we did. Right? But your eyes are what you should use with football. There's too many stats around these days.
I was just going to say, according to Twitter, Ant, you've never been to a game.
This is true. Yeah. I was going to address it by saying I've been going for over 50 years. I had a season ticket for over 30 years. I've been to over 1,000 matches, but it's not worth mentioning.
How are you, man? That was Nathan. Just very quickly, we got nearly just under 400 in here, 68 likes. Hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed if you are new as well. I get what Ant's saying about stats. Stats are, Kino said it today after the Bourfest. He goes, only one stat that matters, and that's the scoreline stat. And it's like we've scored 1 goal in 4 games, and a lot of people are talking about where's the next win coming from. I'd roll that back a step. Where's our next goal coming from?
Yeah, it's the stats don't lie. I mean, you can talk about stats what you like, but we are the stats on the eye test. Those 2 things you combine, and then you make a more informed decision, don't you? And we're failing on every. I said this on the last pod. We're failing on every single metric. You know, the KPIs, the key performance indicators, and people are happy about. Like I said, players are turning up. Cooper's had to resort to the type of players that wouldn't be. Even in the most optimistic fans' eyes, wouldn't have been anywhere near the team a couple of months ago, and now he's having to rely on those players. That's only going to last for so long, and the best he can get out of them is that they turn up. Then what's Cooper doing as in terms of a manager? We keep going on about this manager, and he's supposed to be a man motivator. He's great behind the scenes. He brings the team together. I've not seen us so disjointed behind the scenes since probably before the Hooton days. Actually, I don't even think it was that bad with Hooton behind the scenes. I don't think you could have accused him of doing things that Cooper's done, and players that he's freezing out. Now, we know Sangare was injured on a weekend, but how long before he comes back in? How long before Dominguez comes back in? Are these players going to be continuously frozen out?
Yeah,
nothing's going to change.
As if those players were in, let's say your favourite 11 was on the pitch against Spurs, bearing in mind we still don't have a Wani, do you really think we would have got a result against them?
I don't want any of these arguments to happen full stop anymore, because it's always going to be Cooper's team or players that Cooper have been dumped on him. So either way, it's not going to, until the manager goes. The manager needs to go for us to see any real change. Don't anybody out there tell me that we can't get a manager that can get us more than one shot on target per game, and we have to wait till the 80th minute for that to happen before a team goes down to 10 men before we start looking at attacking or even threatening. That's what I'm sick of. I'm sick of just settling for what we're settling for right now, and it's like going from game to game. I'm not bothered. I can't remember what your question was, mate. I'm just so pissed off with this whole
Well,
thing,
are you kind of saying?
I'm fed up with it.
What Crypto said there, he's kind of been specific to the Spurs game. I feel like you're looking at this in the wider picture of, say, the last 13, 14 games, whatever the hell it is now. Is that where your mindset is at now? It's like, you know, I tried to individualize this at the start, and then you being a grumpy prick put me off it a bit.
Yeah, no, 100%.
You know what I mean? Are you kind of looking at the overview now rather than trying to individualize the games?
Yeah, because you can't do that. You can't go from just game to game. You've got to look at the bigger picture. And like I said, in the bigger picture, any other manager in the world would have been under threat, serious threat of losing their job, and they would have lost their job by now. That stat that he achieved on the weekend is because there's not many managers who've managed to see out 50 games in the Premier League with stats like that. Most of them have been sacked way before that's happened. You know, that's why he's in that metric. And I'm just sick of it. I'm just sick of people making excuses for Cooper, trying to make out that it's going to get better. Where are the signs that it's going to get better? No, you just said 1 goal in the last 4. Come on, man. Forget about the shots on target. Yeah, 1 goal in the last 4. We're not an attacking team. We have no game plan other than keep it tight for as long as possible. And then what? We're not going to keep. I can't remember the last time we kept it 0-0 up until like the 80th minute and gave ourselves a chance to like go in the last 10-15 minutes of the game. So why is that our game plan? Because that's all it seems to be at the moment. I genuinely thought if we get through to half time on Friday, we'd be all right, but we weren't. Go on.
You know what it is? It's a completely redundant conversation, really, mate, because Steve Cooper ain't going to be the manager by the end of the season. Our results are not going to improve under this manager.
Get rid of him now.
They are not going to improve under this manager. So, like I say, to me, well, it's a redundant conversation because it's not a case of should he go or should he not anymore. There is no conversation.
Yeah, no, but the redundancy becomes Forest in the Championship. The trajectory right now is that we are in freefall.
Yeah, I agree. But what I'm saying is there isn't a conversation, I believe, as to whether Steve Cooper should go or not. There's no comeback to it. For example, I say, in my opinion, I think that Steve Cooper is no longer capable of progressing his club forward. I'm still waiting for a cogent, intelligent, sensible argument back to say why he should. But all I get is, don't you remember where we were? That's all I get. I don't get, because I believe he'll do this with these players. I can think he'll do that. I think once he gets his style right. I get none of that. All I get is, well, look what he's done for us. Look where we were. He's given me the happiest 2 years of my life. That's all I get. So therefore, there is no longer any conversation. Sensible conversation.
No. I made a comment earlier, and I think Owen responded saying that I said the majority of Forest fans, even the ones who were on the fence, are now Cooper. Well, not Cooper out as such, but they're fed up with it. I don't think that's changed. I don't. You're gonna have to show me the stats that tell me that the majority of Forest fans are backing Cooper, because I think most of them realize it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So he's on borrowed time, and if that's the mentality, then how is that beneficial to anybody, especially the club? And that's all I give a shit about. I don't care about people's sentiments for Cooper. Yes, he gave you the best moments of your life, you know, whatever. Seriously, I'm not bothered about that sentiment, because moments just come and go, you know. But I want my kids to grow up and have a Forest in the Premier League. That's going to be my moments that make me happy. You know, not what happened 2 years ago, and that's all I can focus on anymore. You know, forget what happened afterwards and forget what happened before, but just live in that moment. You can't live in that moment for the rest of your lives, Forest fans. Fucking wake up.
Yeah, and what Owen's saying here, and with our history of selecting managers under the Greeks, how confident are you they get the right man? I mean, it's what how many's been under the Greek father? 5, isn't it? I think. But the argument doesn't really stand, because if we hadn't gone through those 4, then if we'd stuck with Houghton, then we wouldn't have had Cooper, for example. And what I don't get is any time I ask these guys, like, were you Houghton out? I hear crickets. I literally hear crickets. And it's like, so you backed Houghton and you thought Houghton should have got what the rest of that season or until Christmas, or
can I just add, were those fans accused of being toxic for wanting Houghton out at the time as well? Because that's what gets
but Houghton didn't
about
get
quite a
the
lot
City,
as well.
did he? He didn't get the City. Well, what I would say to that, to Owen, is, of course, I can't guarantee that a new manager is going to take us where we want to go.
Agreed.
But I can damn sure guarantee where this manager is going to take us, and it ain't where we want to go.
Yeah, but he might not even look. This is, I think, like, Michael for me was the only one when me and Ez spoke with him on Saturday. And I love you, Arctic Fox, but you are sentimental. We'll have him on for the next GOR stream.
Yeah, he's sentimental.
I think Michael was at least putting together a case. Shout out to Michael. I don't know if he's in the chat tonight, but I could see building blocks of some form of logic. Yeah, but still, yes, even he said there was a bit of sentimentality behind it. And I just think, look, Crypto, I want to play out the scenario with you now, just after I've read this super chat from the beautiful, generous James. Thank you so much for the $5 again, bro. Devil's advocate, Cooper has outperformed his squad level the past 2 seasons. Hughes was 19th. You can tell he's a scout, isn't it? On XG difference last season. Not saying I believe it. You're gonna wind up with XG, James. You're gonna wind up with XG. But in a way, I'll quickly answer this. Like, the XG does play into it, especially for Evertonians, because as Ant was saying, Dyche was always banging on about XG. At least you could see with the XG that eventually those XGs would convert, and they did. If we're bouncing at 19th XG, then you're relying on defense to bail you out. When you can see how many goals we conceded in the last 4 games, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 and 4, and 1 in return. The XG would have to be ridiculously high. You know, what's that an average of? 2 and a bit against. So it's getting very messy. But
go on.
I
know, I was going to say, I actually have more confidence in XG stats than I do in goals off target, because goals off target don't mean shit to me. You know, but XG means you should have, well, you know, a high XG, your striker should have scored. That's what it means.
And goals on targets means we're progressing up the field and getting shots off.
Yeah, all right, mate.
I do agree with Crypto on that. Well, goals on
getting up the field.
It's bullshit. You could have 5 shots off on target, whatever you like. All that means is you've got into the opposition off 5 times in 90 minutes.
35 yards, 30 yards.
Eh?
All the shots are going to come from somewhere around or inside the opposition's box.
Well, we're not burying many of them, are we?
No, but I'm just saying, you know, in terms of progressing up the field.
We're scared to shoot, man.
You know what? You can defend for 85 minutes. In the last 5 minutes, your goalkeeper can oof the ball at the pitch 3 times. You can have 3 shots at goal. That doesn't mean you're progressing. It doesn't mean that you're attacking.
All right, let's not get down this road.
Let's be honest as well with Tottenham. Let's be honest with Tottenham. Their defense is goddamn awful with that high line. Yeah. You know what I mean? They're any decent team should be able to get behind that high line. So it's not like we were against a normal defending team. It means, in my opinion, that a few times during the game, you oof the ball up, somebody managed to get on the end of it because of their high line.
All right, let's answer this super chat. Crypto, you're the perfect candidate for this because you are Mr. Positive. Thank you so much for the £2, Brandon. You absolute legend. Can we think of one positive by keeping Cooper? This is Crypto's wheelhouse, 100%. Crypto will give you 3. 2, in fact, 2 per pound. Go on, Crypto.
Yeah, so number 1, he lives in the heart of the city.
Good point.
That's not a good point.
Number 2.
Don't humour him.
Number 2, he got us promoted.
Very good point.
And number 3, a third point. That's a lot to ask for a third point.
He gets it. Go with he gets it. Go with he gets it.
Yeah, he understands the city.
Yeah,
He understands the city. So
none of those answer the question. Because the question was
what? I mean, none of those answer the question. I just gave you.
None of them answered the question.
I just gave you 3 fucking answers.
But none of them answered the question. The question was.
Ed, calm down. Calm down.
The question was, can we think of one positive of keeping Cooper? How's that a positive?
Okay.
You're reminiscent, mate. You're reminiscent. You're sentimental. You prick.
He's going to stay living in the city. He's going to stay understanding the city. And he's going to stay having promoted us in the same city that he's still in.
R. Kelly's son. What's it called? The R. Kelly.
Victor Ryder, you are the weakest link.
Ryder, thank you for starting that debate, bro. And let's. Dino's poking the bear here. He's firing one at Ant. I want to know if Ant would take Dyche today. Ooh.
Yes.
Oh, how the money.
Listen.
Yep. No, I'll answer for him.
Yes. Wait. Let's be fair.
With Stoney and Woney, yes.
I never
they get the city. Dyche gets the city. I'm telling you, Dyche gets the city. He understands the city better than he's lived here longer than Cooper. Fuck,
hey,
get Dyche in, man.
My cat lives in the heart of the city. She could be managing Forest. The tactics would be the same as Cooper's.
Your cat shits in the heart of the city.
May I answer the question?
You know things are tough when Ant's the one.
I never said that Dyche wasn't capable of keeping Everton up or wasn't capable of keeping Forest up. What I said was that with the squad we were assembling, I wanted to see more progressive football, which is not a Dyche thing. I watched Everton yesterday. They did very well, but the football wasn't pretty. Okay, don't get me wrong. I don't give a shit as long as we, move up that table right now because we're in the poo at the moment.
Oh, mate, 3 points look pretty to me right now, mate.
Yeah,
get the game.
Yeah. It looked. You're right. In fact, I've written it down.
What's that? 4 wins on the. Is that? By the way, sorry. Is that 4 wins on the bounce for Everton? Sorry. Is that 4 wins on the bounce for them? Let me just say that.
It is
4 wins on the bounce.
Right. Let me look. I made some notes for. Right. This is one of my notes. Watched Everton. Watched Everton. And people think that I'm an amateur and I don't prepare. Not attractive football, but loads of energy, passion, and purpose. Not afraid to use the high press. So there you go. So it's not attractive football. It's not something I'd like to see do going forward.
You said one sentence.
Hey?
That looked like half a page and you said one sentence. What was all the gumph in between?
I've got other things before that. That's the bottom one is the other thing. The other things are do you want me to tell you what the other things that I wrote down to discuss with? Not actually Jono's dad wearing the Spurs scarf.
We'll get into that.
Why was Dominguez not brought on for Chiarte? And where are our standards? Forest happy with a poor 2-0 loss. They're my points I had written down.
All right, we'll come to those. But I just want to finish the Cooper side of things because honestly, I'm getting sick of talking about Cooper, right? I don't know who I'm asking this to. I'll ask it to you guys and the chat. Okay, I think, let me start with a statement here, BBC style statement. Hold on, let me be professional. Apparently, us guys don't know.
Should we do a BBC countdown?
Hold on. Right, so let me try and use some big words. My summarization here on the current situation is tomorrow, being the 18th of December, will tell us everything we need to know about the future of one Mr. Steve Cooper. If Steve Cooper is still here tomorrow, therefore we can assume that he gets the Bournemouth game. If he gets the Bournemouth game, by de facto, he will automatically get the Newcastle game. And by de facto of the de facto, he will also get the Man U game. Because there are 3 days in between, roughly, all 3 of those games. Therefore, basing on history, statistics, and life, after we lost 5-0 to Fulham and there was a game 3 days later, he wasn't sacked. Therefore, I present to the panel here my hypothesis that if Cooper's not gone tomorrow, then he's going to get till January.
Mate,
I
you just ruined Christmas for so many of us, mate. You just ruined
Good thing you're Muslim then, bro.
Yeah, good thing, innit? Good thing I didn't give it.
But what are your thoughts on that? Who wants to take that?
Let me just start off because I'll rant and then I'll fuck off. No, I was gonna say, right, that is just the worst case scenario for me, because I genuinely think we'd better with no manager than coming up with it. So I'd rather go into a game with no tactics and no formation than go in and what we're doing.
Kind of what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we spend all week on it. You know, we spend all week on it. We know what we're doing. You know, we know who we're supposed to be marking and this, that, and the other, and all the crap that he comes out with. Honestly, the guy, he's definitely been to media training, because all of his comments, or you could just play him on repeat, literally, just. And you could jump into any post-match interview after a loss, and it'll be the same. So, I understand what he's saying, but I don't want to think like that. I want to think that Marinakis has got somebody lined up, and it shouldn't take 3 days to change a manager. If he's gonna pull the trigger, then he just brings the next manager. I think he's got the next manager lined up. I don't think an owner of his caliber, because let's not forget, you know, he's a very, very extremely successful businessman. You don't get to where he got to by being soft, really. And I think he's shown a soft side of him that hasn't worked out in his favor at the moment. And I think he just needs to get tough. I think he's got a manager lined up.
If he doesn't sack him tomorrow, what were you thinking? Let's play devil's advocate here, right? If he doesn't sack him, and just a quick shout out to Nick Clark with the legend that is Logan. I know that better not have come out of Logan's pocket money, Nick, or me or you gonna talk, man. Thank you so much for the $4.99, and shout out to Logan, the YouTube sensation. Appreciate that, Nick. But do you see where I'm going with this? I am trying to play devil's advocate. I am trying to, you know, stir some debate, as they say.
Man. You're a bad man.
Yeah, I know. I'm a prick. What can I say? But it's like, can you see where I'm going with it? If he's not sacked tomorrow, it's kind of too late for the boring mouth match at that stage, isn't it?
But would you? So when you kicking a can into the new year, and then the transfer window opens. Now, everybody agrees we need to make changes, and most of them up front or in attack, certainly in attacking areas.
No, as I don't agree with that. I quite like the consistency over the last 2 games.
What consistency?
Same
0
team.
points.
Same team.
And 0 points.
Crypto. Elaborate.
Well, I think for the first time this season, it was the same lineup, and I think the last 2 months have been an improvement.
Okay, but we got 1 point.
We got 1
but
point.
no one cares about the points.
Have you gone into some sort of somber mood there, Crypto? You don't even believe what you're saying.
He can't.
I'm trying to. I'm trying really hard.
Can I
be sarcastical, legit, man?
Can I just say something about this thing about Marinakis being soft, and that's why? No. Marinakis is an extremely successful billionaire. He deals with lots of people that are difficult to deal with. He gets rid of managers at Olympiacos whenever he feels like it. Yeah. The reason, in my opinion, I don't want to be called out for, the reason, in my opinion, that he's not got rid of Steve Cooper right now, it's got nothing to do with sentiment. I don't think it's even got something to do with fear of backlash from fans. I think it's simply he's not got the right person in place right now. And I think if he's negotiating with somebody and they come to an agreement, I think he'll sack Cooper like that. It won't bother him one bit. Because he's Marinakis. This is not some, little pussy down the road who has to hold on to people because he loves them. No.
Yeah, like they're freaking Arab lot, mate. Yeah. Oil money. Where's their oil money, innit?
Sorry, Anne. I thought you were describing Ez there for a second.
Right. Just quickly, while I've got a quick breather here, we've got loads of super chats to catch up on. James says, here's the difference. Thank you for the $5 again, bro. Everton have a defense, a midfield, and attack. Not far away from Forest, right? Laughing emoji, laughing emoji. Laughing
It's spot on.
emoji.
Spot on.
Laughing. I'm not going to do all of them. Thank you so much for the £5. And the godfather of FFTV himself, Dino, with the 5 gifted memberships. Show some love to our beloved Egg in the chat. I can't see who's got them, so you lot better thank Dino. Oh, I can see him. Mark Hill, congratulations. Midas 20, congratulations. James Bruce, congratulations. Adam Townsend and D, the legend, Chapo. Make sure you show.
Can I just say something else as well? Because I missed out on this bit. I'm sick and tired of this Taiwo bollocks, right? Taiwo is extremely important to Forest. It's absolutely vital to our attack. Taiwo, I don't believe is responsible for us letting 8 goals in the last 4 games. Why are people saying, once Taiwo's back, it'll be all okay? Once Taiwo's back, it'll be all okay? He ain't going to score that many goals. We need to get the defense sorted out. And by that, I don't mean the personnel, I mean the system. And regular players playing regularly in their right positions. That's what we need. That's what a new manager would hopefully give you. Instead of what the hell we're doing now. I don't know from one week to the next what the hell we're doing. I don't know what formation we're going to play. I don't know what personnel are going to play. And even when they do play, it's still crap.
Yeah.
So it's the defense that's letting us down. Get this out of your heads. That it's all down to Taiwo.
Yeah.
Taiwo is massive. He will give us goals. He ain't going to stop him going in the other end.
All right, let me send on Nicky here. Right, I don't know if Nicky's still in the chat because he fully went on a rant at me on WhatsApp in a nice way, of course. Yeah, but what he's saying is that any team, and Nicky, I'll try and quote what you said. He said, if you look at Man City now, they've lost Haaland and they're not banging in the goals, although they got 2. Right. He said, what was the other one he said? What did you say, Nicky? When Rodri got sent off for Man City, they then went and lost didn't win the next games they had with him. So he's making a case that you can have not one-man teams, but heavily reliant key players in those teams. My argument back to him, Crypto, was as much as I can't stand Brentford, I haven't really heard them crying about Tony that much. And they are a one-man team. You look at Fulham, Mitrovic, FC. They ain't been crying about it. I mean, Jimenez needs to practice a bit more kung fu, better off. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, so I can kind of see both sides of the argument. I'm kind of with Ant on it, but where are you two? Let's start with you, Crypto, on this one. And chat, where are you? Where are you on this? Are we a one-man Taiwo team? Is it Taiwo or bust?
I guess it's kind of ironic that with Tony and Toffolo, the 2 people who are good at betting are also our best players. But in terms of Taiwo, I think it makes a difference because you can play a different formation. You don't have to sit back so much if you have your best striker up front. You don't have to try and score goals on the counter with a false 9 like we have been trying to do the last few games. Look at Taiwo last season. He's had some brilliant games. It definitely does affect things. I agree that our defense can be better, but that's down to the formation, isn't it? If we sit and invite pressure, you're always going to concede because people will make mistakes, whether it's the defenders or the goalkeeper. But if you've got a solid striker up there, you can be more progressive and you can play a different formation. So I agree with Nicky.
Okay, so let me ask you this then, right? If Forest went and bought Osman's probably one of the hottest strikers right now. Yeah, if we went and bought Osman tomorrow, and we put him in there in that same system instead of who was playing up front, Elanga. Yeah, would Forest be banging in goals and getting points?
Yes, because Osman is 87 rated on FIFA, and he's probably one of the best strikers in the world. Osman won't come to Forest. I don't think Taiwo is quite on Osman's level.
No, but that's my point, Crypto. I'm upgrading it past.
You know what? I was watching an interesting documentary earlier on Jamie Vardy and how the teams he played for, all of them basically said that he was the one to get the teams promoted, or he plays for to win the Premier League. It can make a massive, massive difference if you build your team around that striker and they're on form, match in, match out. Then you will win more games, 100%.
All right, let me then reverse it back. Before I bring Ez in, I've thought of a cracking argument to hit Ant with. Ant, who's your favorite striker of all time?
Yes, he would. He would save us. We would win the Premier League if we had him. Okay.
Exactly.
No,
Eh?
I'm not going that way around. I'm going the other way
Okay.
around. If Collymore wasn't in Frank Clark's team, and by the way, guys, don't forget 7 p.m. Tuesday, we've got the gaffer in. The gaffer in. You don't want to miss that one, right? If Clark didn't have Collymore in that team, would Forest have finished third that season?
Nope.
Okay, so how can you argue that you can't have?
But we wouldn't be conceding loads more goals and be bottom of the league. There is a difference between fighting for the top 3 and pissing about at the bottom end and letting loads of goals in. We weren't letting loads of goals in, and that wouldn't have changed whether we had Collymore or not.
You say that, but didn't Collymore just occupy the whole defense by himself?
Yes, he could occupy the entire team by himself. But the
Look
fact of the
what happened
matter
when
is,
Jason Lee and Solenzi came in.
the fact of the matter is, we didn't let the goals in at the back.
You know, you're missing my bigger point. Like, look at it, because we then got relegated 2 years later. Look at it. We had, who did we have? Jason Lee, Solenzi, then we brought in, was it Saunders around that time? Because they weren't able to occupy the defense the way Collymore did. Therefore, the threat of the attack is less. Therefore, the opposition can attack more. And therefore, there's more pressure on the defense.
Yeah. Okay. Let me respond then. Okay. If we had Lionel Messi, we also would have been without Collymore, and we'd swapped him for Lionel Messi. We also would have been near the top. These are fucking elite players, 1 in a million players. All right. So yes, in those circumstances,
once in a lifetime, innit?
Yeah, with that, generational. With those kind of players, they do dominate the entire team.
Yeah,
so
but
get me one.
And Morgan Gibbs White is elite, but you hate him.
That ain't Taiwo. He's no Collymore. I'm telling you, he's no Collymore. Never will be. Not fit.
I'll agree with you. I'll agree. But I'm just playing devil's advocate. I kind of do agree with you, man. I do agree with you. You can't hide behind one player. But what I want to know is, which side does Ez think of is the right answer here?
Can I just point out, Kane left Tottenham and look what they've done. They were a one-man team.
Yeah, but Kane's too slow. Kane's shit. He's like Chris Wood.
I agree.
Chris Wood's probably better than Kane, let's be honest.
Go on, Ez.
With improvements I've seen in Taiwo this season as to last season were the way he held up the ball and he progressed us up the field. And with no doubt about that, we're sorely missing that. The annoying thing is, but we kind of experienced this with Taiwo last season when he was out of the team. We were certainly less of a threat. So why did the great Steve Cooper not have a backup plan for one? It was going to happen in January anyway. So regardless of his injury, we were going to lose him in that period. And considering his injury record, why was there not a backup plan of how to play and still be progressive without Taiwo in the team? Because we don't have it. There's no idea. With no Taiwo, there's no party. Simple as that. And
we did have backups. Chris Wood and Divock Origi, they were the men chosen to be backups. It's not that we didn't have backups. It's just the backups were shit.
Yeah, so that was his backup plan. No, but there's still no change in play when you bring those players in. You're still trying to play the Taiwo formation with Chris Wood and Divock Origi. And I don't even think Origi's really been given a proper opportunity, but I don't think he's deserved it either. But you can't play the same system, but you play with Taiwo up front, but you play with Chris Wood up front.
Yeah, but
so there's got to be a different game plan altogether. Go on.
You say no one, no party. That's Jamie Vardy's line. So if you're comparing him to Jamie Vardy, then if we had a striker like that,
he's our Jamie Vardy. Yeah, he's our Jamie Vardy.
Well, then that changes everything.
It's not the same class.
Yeah, but Crypto, there's so much revisionism going on Taiwo. Like, he's our best striker by a mile, yeah? But come on, we saw a lot of Bambi on ice last year with him. Cooper didn't trust him. As I've said, he kept playing him on the left wing in about 3 or 4 games, yeah? So he didn't trust him up front. Now, I agree, Taiwo's a number 9, clear out number 9, and you could argue, I don't like the argument, but some may argue his goals and him are the reason we stayed in the Premier League towards the end of last season. Because he was, what did he go on? 6 in a row, whatever it was. So, but to say he's elite, I'm kind of in between now in this conversation. Some of you are swaying me this way and swaying me back that way. It's
comparing with Jamie Vardy. Are you kidding? comparing him with Jamie Vardy.
It was Ez who said that, not me.
Well,
Jamie
no, you
Vardy
said it. I said
was an elite striker who scored a ton of goals, and not only that, his pace and
Forget
comparing.
Vardy, man.
We're not. I know. We're going into semantics now. I'm not talking player for player, pound for pound. I'm talking about the influence he has on the team and how we play with him or without him. That's all I mean. Clearly, he's not on the same level as James Vardy.
Fair comment.
But he's definitely our talisman. No, he's definitely our talisman. And the fact of the matter is, we had no backup plan without him.
But that's because
you've got the players now. You've got no backup plan without him, and that is.
The team was never built around Taiwo. It was always built around MGW, which is the wrong way to do it. To win games, you got to score goals.
MGW is just another cog in a wheel now.
Building a team around a guy who can't score. And it hurts me to say that because I've got his shirt behind me, but you know, he can't score, he can't cross. You know, against Spurs the other day, we'd had the set piece coach in. Who does he put on set pieces? Morgan Gibbs-White. What does he do?
Yeah,
put it into the first man at the front post.
Mate,
it's a joke. It's a joke.
Even his shots hit the first man. He can't get a shot past the player.
Exactly.
It's like he
plays over sometimes, to be fair.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I disagree. I think he should be playing rugby at the moment with his shooting. He should be the next Johnny Wilkinson.
Same with like Worrell used to kick the ball 50 yards up the pitch. Him, Yates, and Morgan Gibbs-White should all go to whatever the hell.
Makes you wonder what we do in training. It really does make you wonder what we do in training. You know?
Is there a rugby team in Nottingham?
I think it's just
called Nottingham Rugby team.
Nottingham Rugby.
Yeah, I don't get rugby. This whole but is it? What are the two things? You got league rugby and what's the other one?
Union.
I don't know the difference, man.
I went to grammar school and I was only a skinny lad then, and I had to. We only played rugby. We didn't play football. It was horrible.
I think Ez would make a pretty good rugby player. Just run underneath the arms of the attackers.
Rugby, man. I hated rugby, man.
I hate rugby.
Slide through their legs.
I still can't get over. You're offside if you pass it forward, man. I mean, Forest would be really good at never being offside and playing rugby, wouldn't they? But anyway, let's not talk about that boring sport. Okay. I was gonna bring up something here. Yeah. Okay. So I do want to talk about this. Okay. With all the talk about Taiwo being out, and Jimmy finally makes a good point, even though he's stupid and doesn't know that it's a loan deal and not selling.
Yeah.
Would anyone recall Dennis in January? All this striker talk, we need a striker, right? That's going to cost us, unless we get Garassi, who looks like he's heavily linked to Man U now for 17. A decent striker is going to be about 30 to 40 million. Now, I don't think Dennis is an out-and-out 9, but he can play as a 9. Would anyone in the chat or in the panel recall Dennis? Arctic, I was going to do this to you next week. I know we talked about it offline. There's a lot of yeses already. And where are you with Dennis?
Yeah.
Where are you?
Of course. The guy can score in the Premier League. He's proven in the Premier League. He's never been given a fair chance. I think give him a fair chance, get his confidence up, get him moving, and he'll be a really good addition to the squad. We've only got 2 wingers, don't forget. So if we do need, if one of those wingers goes down, which, Callum often does, we're shafted, aren't we? So, bring him back. It's not going to cost us anything.
Yeah, but where are you, Ez? Because you weren't his biggest fan. Or was it Dino? I can't remember.
I wasn't his biggest fan, but at this stage, mate, I'd bring Sam Surridge back, mate. That's how shit we are.
Yeah, but we sold him, mate. So how are you going to do that?
I don't care. I'd still bring him back. I'd pay money and bring him back. No, really? Dennis. I'm joking. Of course, I'm joking. But if we could, if there's a chance of bringing Dennis, but I don't know. He can play on the wing as well. We've got very few attacking options when Elanga's not. When Callum Hudson-Odoi not fit. If he's not fit, that's another 2 positions down almost. And I don't think he's been anywhere near back to full fitness anyway since he's been here. So I think we need players that. He's going to be away for AFCON anyway. So I don't know how long we can get him for if we can get him back. But it's an option, mate. I think we're out of options, and under this manager, I'm out of options as well.
Nice segue. All right, Crypto on loanees, right? What do you think about our loanee business so far? because it sounds like Tavares is going back to Arsenal. I reckon Montiel's probably going kicked out. Santos, I think, is going to beg to go back to Chelsea. And who's the other loanee? We got one more. I can't remember who it is. We got one more. Chat, help. Chat. Dominguez? Is Dominguez on loan, or do we pay for him?
I'm sure we bought him. I think we swapped him at plus 9 million.
Freuler, wasn't it? Freuler.
Yeah, Freuler, yeah.
There's one more. Chat, who is it? Who's the other loanee? Come on, quick answers. Origi, thank you.
Origi, of course it is, yeah.
My guy right there. Thank you so much. All right, so those are the 4, yeah. And if I want to go back further, Crypto. I want to look at last season's loanees. Barde, Henderson, Navas, Lodi. Who else did we have? We had a couple more. I can't remember them now. Chat, help. But all these loanee players, are we playing the loanee market right? Focus on this season's one, Ben. What do you think of these 4 that have been in, and have they been given a fair crack?
No, I mean it's kind of pointless because the 4 that have come in this season have barely played. Tavares didn't look great when he was on. Origi hasn't done great, although I still think he should be given maybe a chance over Wood. Even against Spurs, I would have brought on Origi. At least he's got a bit of pace. Santos not been given proper chances, and Montiel had 1, 2, or 3 games at the start of the season, and then again he hasn't been seen since. Although he's on the bench a few times. It seems
where is he, Crypto? Because Montiel played that first game he did was against Burnley, where he got cooked by that left winger, the young kid.
Yeah, I mean,
he did well against Man City, and then he's vanished.
I think his defending didn't look great, but his attacking looked better, which I guess you could argue the same with about Tavares, although he's not that great. But Cooper doesn't like playing attacking formations and attacking lineups. So anybody who's naturally attacking, and potentially the same with Santos, definitely with Origi, they don't get played. Cooper likes people who can sit back and defend. So it's Cooper's choice. But if you're not going to play players, then there's no point in loaning them. And another thing is that I don't suppose the parent clubs are very happy. I mean, someone like Santos would be wanting game time from Chelsea. So for him to just not even make the bench every week is a bit disappointing for him and potentially his career too. But yeah, the thing is the loans have got to be Cooper's decision. I don't know if they are, but whoever the manager is, they've got to make the decisions on the loanees. Otherwise, they won't get played. We still haven't seen Omobamidele either, which I can't work out. Again, he's been on the bench a few times, but we've never seen him. But apparently, he's brilliant. So, I'd swap him in one game. Can't do any worse than what's going on at the moment, where we just lose every match.
And what's your take on these loanees? You're a big fan of Santos, if I remember rightly. When
I was just about to say, the treatment of Santos has been nothing short of a disgrace. This great manager who's supposed to be brilliant with young players, and you can't get a quality player like Santos in the team when you're playing Kouyaté and God knows who else. Yates, love him, but he ain't Santos. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. Our loan system, or whatever you want to call it, has just been appallingly bad. And even when you get a good one like Santos, you don't give him minutes in the league. Nothing. It's unbelievable. All
right, but
for me, that's the biggest disappointment of the transfer window, is getting a player of Santos's quality and not giving him.
Surely the biggest disappointment is not getting some backup strikers in, some ones that are to a decent level.
Yeah, I do agree with that actually.
Yeah, but and to be fair, from what we hear, Cooper wasn't behind any of those loan signings. Maybe Tavares. I don't know where he was with Tavares, but he didn't sanction Santos. He didn't. Omobamidele wasn't on loan, so you can say whatever with him. He's a future player. But can you understand that if they gave him the players that he didn't want, that he's not using them?
No, it's a terrible excuse. That is. There aren't many, if any. Maybe Pep. Maybe not even Klopp. Even he doesn't get to choose who he gets. they're not managers anymore, are they? They're basically first team coaches, and it's no excuse. If you're given a quality player, you should be able to have the ability to use that quality player in your side. It's no excuse. You can't have managers saying, "Well, I'm not going to play him because I didn't pick him." You can't have that.
As on Santos, though, if I play devil's advocate with this, because everyone's saying good player, which I agree. I was very excited when we got him. Can you understand why he hasn't played though? Like, who would he get in ahead of? Would be my question.
Ez has come back to dial-up in 1979.
Ground control to Esmondo.
Ez, you prick! What are you doing?
I think he's maybe writing some notes down first. Please bear with us with our technical glitch. While you're waiting, please hit that like button.
I think he's researching Santos to see.
You're going to hear all of this in 10 minutes' time when the lag comes through.
Yeah. This is entertaining. Is this what being cancelled feels like? With 450 in here. Anyway, crypto.
Oh yes.
What?
Oops. What? 450. Come on, guys. Hang on, let me check. See if I have to get upset with you.
Where are you? Ez.
Actually, it's not bad.
Has he gone out to move his car again?
Guys, give us a few likes, please. It would be much appreciated. We live sad, lonely lives and have to eat beans out of a can for
That's
Christmas
it. He's
dinner,
gone.
so.
He's gone. Ez got cancelled, guys. In a bit, Ez. In a bit. All right.
I'm trying to draw up some likes here. Will you stop interrupting?
Ez got cancelled for making a joke about Sam Surridge. You know, put some respect on his name.
It's because Ez was lying. Sam Surridge wasn't online. He's done. He's cancelled. All right. Crypto, you answer that question.
What was the question?
Can you understand why Santos isn't getting into the team? With you got Dominguez, Sangare, Mangala. Blah, blah, blah.
Yay!
I think for me, the people on the pitch should be the ones who are performing best in training, which we don't really see. So if that's the case, then fair enough. But it'd be nice to see them have a go. I mean, I think I said when they all first joined, I'd rather see them up front how good they are. And then, you know, by the time we get into where we are now, we have a more of a settled team. I'm presuming he's better than some of the players that Cooper's currently playing, but obviously he's doing it because they're his boys and they play for him and they give their all. I mean, to be fair to Yates, he did put a pretty good performance in against Spurs.
I agree.
So, you know, and he is the captain. I know we've had 3 or 4 or 5 captains now. But yeah, it'd be nice to see some of these players get a chance because whatever Cooper seems to try at the moment, unfortunately, doesn't work. And I'm reminded by that every match by Ez.
All right, is he back with us?
I think so. Can you hear me?
Ez?
About time, mate.
Let's pretend we can't.
I wanted to go for dinner soon. You're dragging it out.
No. I thought I was being really polite and letting you guys talk, and then I realised you pricks couldn't hear me anyway, so I wasn't being that polite.
They've been for the last 10 minutes.
Can I answer the Santos question then? Just about Santos.
Go on then.
The difficulty was when he was brought in. At the same time, we signed all these midfielders, and Cooper had to be seen to be giving these players a chance. Now, as it turned out, I would have still brought Santos in for a few minutes every single game and given him some time in the team. But he's not been given that opportunity. And there's another young player, another quality player, because he'll go on to do something. I think he'd achieve stuff in his career. It'll be another player that we've missed out on, and we've had a chance to at least see some minutes from him. We wouldn't have ever kept a hold of him, but you never know with Chelsea. Chelsea are always looking. They have, because of the way they do these 8-year contracts, every year on year they're going to have to sell players, and that's the way they're is from now on. But it's a shame we never got to see him play. A real shame we never got to see him play. I would have liked to have given him some opportunity because I thought he was a good backup in the first place anyway. The problem we've got now is who the hell is going to loan their players to Nottingham Forest, young or whatever? Who's going to want to loan them to us? We're not going to get game time. We're going to be coming into a team that are rock bottom, and have got no confidence. So since we've been in the Premier League, we've massively messed up our loan processes. Massively.
But Ez, do you think we've got money in January to buy players? Legit question here, because I think all 4 loanees may go to free up 4 new loanee slots. And I'm not convinced we got that much money FFP wise. Obviously, Marinakis, man, he can blow his nose with $100 bills. But do you think, and chat, what do you think? Do you think that's part of the strategy here? Clear out the loanees, because we're not really seeing them. Tavares haven't touched the grass. Nors Montiel, Origi, I think he's due pregnancy-wise after that team sheet, that team photo. And who's the other one? I forgot the other one. Santos. So do you think as that the strategy is move out 4 loanees to bring in 4 new loanees?
It possibly is, but I mean, they're sitting there collecting money from doing nothing at the moment, and I'm sure on most of them we'll be paying the majority of their loan fees. You know, I don't think it'll be a 50-50 split as such. That might be the strategy and might be the only options we've really got going forward. I don't know what the FFP situation is, and whether or not Marinakis will be willing to take a risk on it. You know, that's something for them to discuss and them to figure out. But end of the day, majority of them, if not all of them, are going back. If we can replace them, all good. But I just think we're gonna have real trouble attracting anybody right now. And who is there out there, you know, in the positions that we really, really need? So it's not worked out. Like I said, we've messed it up big time since we got promoted. I don't know what the strategy has been with loan players, but we've not hit one at all. And considering the season before, man. Yeah, I know, I'm a prick.
As with that time you spent on mute, I'm surprised you haven't managed to review all of Forest's accounts.
No, I can't bother, mate.
Take longer than that. Take longer than that. All right. I don't want to do this, but we're going to have to do it. All right. We're going to have to address the elephant in the room. Bournemouth. I'm worried. I'm more worried about Bournemouth than I am Spurs, than I am Newcastle, than I was Spurs, sorry, than I am Newcastle, than I am Man United. Because my theory still, I feel like my hypothesis still holds true. Cooper plays better against bigger clubs. Bournemouth are not a big club. And at home, I would think, I don't know if you guys agree, that the onus will be on us to attack them. And that scares the crap out of me. Do you worry about Bournemouth and this weekend? Let's assume Cooper's still in and we don't see the corner flag tomorrow or whatever, right? Do you worry about getting a result of Bournemouth? Well, against Bournemouth?
With our current form, we need to worry about everybody and anybody. If it was Luton Town, except Sheffield United, I wouldn't worry about that. Yeah, they're all limits. Let's be honest. Bottom of the table.
It ain't sung that low, mate. Yeah. Not everyone can get 3 points at Stamford Bridge, you know. Beat the Drop tomorrow at 7 p.m. By the way, guys. Jimmy will be there. Sorry, go on, Ed.
Yeah. So yeah, I am concerned about Bournemouth. They're playing really well, aren't they? They look like they've got their act together. It looks like their signings are coming to fruition. The manager's got them moving. So yeah, of course I'm worried about Bournemouth, but I go back to what I said about the Spurs before the Spurs game. It really doesn't make a great deal of difference. Okay, the points, you know, would be handy, but we're just treading water. I keep saying it. We're just treading water. You know, so let's say we beat Bournemouth 1-0. Okay, great. Everybody's happy. Then we go to Newcastle. Then we got Man United. You know, it's like every game's the same. It's like, oh, we've got to do something. Got to do something. It's just, I've never been so unenthusiastic about Forest games, you know. And
yeah, but and if you were a true fan, you'd back your team, whatever, no matter how shit they are.
That's kind of weird because I do back my team, I back my club. That doesn't mean I necessarily back the manager, but some people seem to find that concept difficult.
Well, you ever go to a player?
It's like having a player. I was supposed to say Divock Origi is absolutely magnificent just because he puts a Forest shirt on. I don't quite get it.
He is pretty good. Unfortunately, unlike you, Anne, I can't back a team because I've got Solanke in my FPL. So I'm gonna sit this one out. I want Bournemouth to win.
FPL there, NFFC there for crypto, man. What are you saying on this Bournemouth match, man? Because they are a bogey team. They're like, you know what they are? They're not just a bogey team. They're a bogey you pick and then you go and flick and it just sticks on your finger forever. Not that I do that. I'm just saying. But anyway, clip that as Bournemouth.
He's gonna answer in 10 minutes.
Oh shit! Here we go. While you're waiting for Ez, guys, hit that like button. And wait, there's two S's. There's another one in the backstage. What's going on?
It's been duplicated.
He times it for when I go to him. Ez, can you hear me? Ez. Ground control.
That's either a no or he's on mute.
Planet's flat.
If you're watching on the podcast, you have not lost connection. We're still here. We're still here. All right. You know what? Let's call it then. On that note, we'll be back tomorrow for Beat the Drop, 7 p.m. And don't forget, the second greatest manager of all time, the Gaffer, will be with us on Tuesday at 7 p.m. answering your questions. The legend. I'm actually fanboying this a little. I'm not going to lie to you, boys. My boyhood manager, man. Frankie Boy Clark. I can't wait. So hit that like button, subscribe, do all the usual stuff. We will see you, and let's see if Jimmy's got the kahunas to turn up tomorrow. Yeah, he's giving it all in the chat there. So we'll see you tomorrow. There'll be a daily video as well. As may answer the question on Bournemouth by then. Thank you for watching. You Reds.
Call your Reds.
You Reds. Hey,
You Reds.